A very good morning. EURUSD continues to push up higher based on the expectation that the United States is going to cut interest rates further and the European Union will keep interest rates stable, meaning that interest rates are coming close to one another, and that is causing EURUSD to push up higher. Good morning, guys. This is the final daily market outlook of 2025. I want to say a massive thank you, first of all, for your support this year. Really means the world that you guys take the time to watch these daily market outlooks and to see what I have to say about the markets. Next year, we are going to level up these daily market outlooks together. I'm going to be sharing more and more value and preparing these market outlooks even better, sharing you guys some of the articles that I read on a daily basis, which help me form these biases, which made me, for example, go long on EURUSD. Now, without further ado, one more announcement, and I've already mentioned it actually before. Discord is going to close for new members in 2026, or at least at the beginning of 2026. You will not have the opportunity to join Discord anymore. So if you have a friend, a cousin, an uncle, or whatever, or somebody who trades and who's not yet inside the Discord, or maybe yourself who is watching this video is not yet inside Discord, make sure to join now because it's going to be the last opportunity. Now, without further ado, let's just dive into the markets and see what is going on. Now, EURUSD, first of all, has continued again with another bullish day yesterday, and we're currently at the overall highs. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to delete this real quick and show you guys from a naked chart what I'm looking at. So first of all, it's clear daily time frame still remains bullish here with the overall impulse up, then here another impulse in towards the upside. We had a break of structure here, and after that break of structure took place, we had an overall phase where the market made a very nice pullback here in towards the downside. The market made a pullback in towards the downside, where more specifically, well, in towards this liquidity low over here, which was your overall final point of liquidity. The overall swing low here is this low, and this here is your swing high. And once the overall liquidity low here got taken, which was your final point of liquidity within the overall impulse up, we can then obviously expect the next impulse in towards the highs to start commencing. Now, that overall impulse in towards the high has now started to commence. So what do I do in these kind of situations where we anticipate that the next impulsive phase has started, or as we can see, the next impulsive phase has started? Well, we keep an eye on what? We keep an eye on the internal market structure, and that is what we follow further in towards the highs, as we, for example, had over here. So what we can currently see is that we had a breaker structure up, and currently we are again near the overall breaker structure line over here. And this is more clear on a 4-hour time frame, where you have the overall impulse here in towards the highs. And let me just get this overall rectangle placed over here. So this was your overall first impulse up, then we had the second impulse up, and then we had the third impulse up. And in between those impulses, you have again pullback phases, right? So all I am simply doing every single time is I'm looking to trade the overall impulsive phase within the impulse. And what that actually means is that what you are trying to accomplish is this, where you have the overall daily impulsive phase, which I just highlighted at the beginning. And within that daily impulsive phase, we are trying to trade these impulsive phases in towards the highs, if that makes sense. So when is the overall next impulsive phase here on the 4-hour time frame going to start? Well, when we grab, for example, liquidity. So when I look at this overall impulse up, here I grab liquidity, here I have a demand zone. We retraced into, for example, the overall 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level, and that's why from there I expected that the market was going to head up higher. Then obviously there's different ways that you can take these kind of positions, either like this or with the wider stop loss, and expect a new higher high to be established. And then what do we then have? Then, for example, we have a overall new impulsive phase in towards the highs, and then it's just waiting for the next overall reaccumulation phase. And all we're then simply doing is just trading this up higher in towards what? In towards a new daily higher high. And then once that new daily higher high has been established, that is then when we can expect the overall pullback to happen once again. But currently we are in the daily impulsive phase, so I'm happy to remain in my overall long positions, and I'm holding on to my current long positions. But there is one little bit of a risk here on the dollar index, and that is the fact that we've hit the overall 3 monthly open level, guys. That is a natural area of support or resistance, and the fact that we took out trendline liquidity here of these 3 ascending lows. So the 1, the 2, and the third low, these have all been grabbed, and we've now hit the overall 3 monthly open level. So there could be a bounce from here, do keep it in mind, but for the rest, to be honest, it is still looking good for the dollar index to head down slightly lower towards this overall black line here. Let's monitor what the 4-hour time frame does in towards the end of the year. Let's see even if there is enough volume to really take these trades. But what I'm seeing here is still the overall order flow holding. As you guys know, at the beginning of the week, I mentioned that we had this ascending wedge here, and that the market structure / order flow was pushing the market down lower and lower. And as you can see, that has been holding beautifully. So now again, I'm just waiting for a little bit more of a push down. Then this here is the overall supply zone and then retracement, and then we can still look for further short positions. So as long as this overall order flow remains bearish here, immediately on the 4-hour time frame, shorts are still in control. For the rest, it's pretty rangy price action, but I would favor some more downside here on the dollar index. Going into AUDUSD, I think AUDUSD and NZDUSD have been very good calls for myself. Been calling this bullish price action as well this week. As you guys know, pretty much the exact same situation as on EURUSD, where if you focus on the basics here, you have a break of structure in towards the upside here, right? And what we then have is a swing low. We then have a swing high over here, the blue dotted line. Now, the market retraces in towards discount pricing, and it takes out liquidity underneath this final low. Now, what you can then do is either enter on that low itself or wait for the overall order flow shift, which was a break of this supply zone, right? So this buy up for the sell down, which was suppressing price. That got broken, and then what happened is that we formed an area of demand. This overall, let's say, sell down before the bigger buy up. Now, the way again that you can look at this is the fact that, let's say this here is your overall pullback phase down, right? This here was the overall impulse in towards the highs, this green zone. And when we got into the final liquidity low over here and the market structure is still bullish, we then expect a new impulsive phase in towards the highs to start. Now, what I want you to understand is that all you're then simply doing is within that daily impulsive phase, you're going into the 4-hour time frame and identifying the exact same things. So here on the 4-hour time frame, what we had was an overall pullback phase here, and we had a smaller overall impulse in towards the highs here. And now we're seeing another impulse in towards the highs. Now, when a pair is as bullish as it is now, look, the biggest problem a lot of traders will then make is they draw in their Fibonacci and then they say, okay, I want to see at least the 618 get hits and whatever, support and resistance, blah, 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 blah. All you're simply going to do is look for liquidity. Because what I can see here is that the overall pullback takes place to where? Because within this impulse, where is liquidity? Here's a very clear liquidity point. That liquidity point gets taken. That liquidity point also lines the 3 monthly and the weekly open, and then from there we just head up higher. So you're not always going to see those perfect retracements. Don't overthink it. Just say, hey, here we have liquidity, and let's say here we have liquidity. I'm just waiting for either one of the lows to get taken, and then I want to see change of character. Change of character happens. Second change of character happened, and then you just want to get in on the overall high break, at least a double change of character, and then you can either use a wider stop loss or obviously just place a stop loss underneath the lows, and you would be running a good profit. And now with the daily high being broken, obviously you want to kind of like be getting out of the position this is now getting riskier at the moment, as after a break of structure, at some point in time, we expect a pullback to happen. Now, going into NZDUSD, but still bullish on AUDUSD. NZDUSD also still bullish. I've highlighted this chart as well every single day now. As we can see, we tapped into the monthly open pretty much. We had an area of consolidation here. We liquidated the low of this kind of like range that you had. And then after the liquidation of the low of the range here and the change of character here, then it was pretty much logical that we were going to head back up to the high of the overall range where liquidity was situated, which we then moved into. Overall, still bullish on NZDUSD and looking for further upside. I do think that there's a lot more room still for NU to push up higher. NZD has some catching up to do. And for now, the overall order flow remains bullish. This is now demand in control, and we'll look for further upside. As simple as that. USDJPY, that pair has been moving down slightly lower. It's a little bit of a risky one, as it seems that momentum has kind of like, removed itself from the market here on UJ. We've hit the yearly open again, rejected that. USDJPY is relatively risky in my opinion because you're trading two weak currencies at the moment against each other. Furthermore, the Japanese yen has intervention risk, meaning that there is a possibility that the Bank of Japan will buy its own currency heavily due to the fact that it's reaching unsustainable levels, or levels that influence inflation too much, let me put it that way. So already at the beginning of this week, the financial minister of Japan talked about potential currency intervention. So do keep that in mind, that is possible. But let's say if we do break this high, then obviously you could look for another upside push. But for me, it's more just starting to move a little bit sideways here. I'm not a massive fan of being in a position on UJ anymore. So yeah, we'll be removing myself a little bit from it. But if we do break this high, then maybe some lower time frame 15-minute setups, because here you have a demand zone, right? Sell for the buy up. That broke market structure here, and now for our change of character is still bearish. So wait for the change of character up and then look for some 15-minute setups maybe. Other than that, for now the order flow remains bearish, and there's still potential just to head down lower once again. So immediate time frame, still potential for it to move down lower. Other than that, if the fire change of character takes place, look for some potential lower time frame setups. USDCAD heads down lower, nothing really there at all. Has potential still to move towards these ascending lows that we have here. And then we have, of course, USDCHF. This has also been heading down lower. Should also most likely, or well, it has now taken out the ascending equal lows that we had over here, but still kind of head down lower towards this low here. Yeah, no longs at all. Just look for shorts on the lower time frame. As simple as that, to be very honest. But obviously here on the 15-minute time frame, what's happened? Break of market structure here. Maybe, yeah, monitor for points of liquidity to go short again. But yeah, overall this pair has kind of like made its move. And then of course gold, guys, gold, still a buy. Been saying it every single day for the past few months. This is still a buy. Just buy. Look for long opportunities on the liquidation. There's not much else that I can say, if I'm very honest. Yeah, but there's not really much else that I can say. Every liquidation is another opportunity to go long. Here you liquidated this low here, and then from there again you saw a nice push up. Just wait, maybe one more sweep the lows, wait for the change of character, and then you could look to go long again. Obviously it's had a very overextended move so far at the moment, but yeah, overall still bullish on gold and still looking for the longs. Any deeper retracements, any deeper liquidations, again, will provide us with new buying opportunities. Obviously, we've seen a very heavy move in towards the upside once again, but we're looking for more longs into year's end. As simple as that. So yeah, guys, that's it. 2025 wrapped up. I want to thank you all again for watching this video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure to join Discord, and we'll be speaking inside Discord. Obviously, I will not vanish completely. I'll still be active inside Discord, so make sure to be active there as well. And thanks, guys. Bye.